This video will be a guide to Surging Strikes or Multi-Strike, or what I like to call it, Water Bear URSHIFU. Actually, someone also told me to maybe call it Blueberry, which I also find kind of funny. So since it became very popular since the latest patch, after it got buffed, I thought it would be a good idea to just share what I think and how you play this build and how the moves actually work. Because I feel like a lot of people in my games, at least I see them do a lot of things completely wrong in this Pokemon. We will go over held items, I will explain all the moves, I will also go over some gameplay and explain you guys how to play this Pokemon correctly. You can play it in jungle or in lane. I personally prefer jungle because it just gets you to level 5 much faster. Cupfu doesn't really have, or the pre-evolution doesn't really have the greatest laning phase, but you can actually take it to lane and also do quite well. You just have to make sure you get to level 5 very fast, and after level 5, this Pokemon is insanely strong. It's one of the best early and mid-game Pokemon. It does struggle in late game a tiny bit because team fighting is difficult. It's a melee, right? It's squishy melee, so if you go in too much, you can die quite easily to stuff like a Volt Tackle or any other, easy stunts that can hit you. For head items, I currently play Attack Weight, Muscle Band, and Razor Claw. There's a lot of head items you can play on this Pokemon. You can also consider maybe a Scope Lens just full of auto attack damage. You can also consider a Focus Band instead of maybe the Muscle or Attack Weight, but I like this one a lot. It has a lot of damage. It has good early game clear as well. The Muscle Band and Razor Claw just allow us to snowball games very hard. The Muscle Band allows us to do Regis if we jungle, right? It's much easier to do Regieleki or the Regirocks or Regiices on bot. It helps us also do Rayquaza faster. It just allows us for early game to not be as bad, especially also if you go to lane. If you're Cupfu going to lane, the Muscle Band will help you clear those InDDs much faster. For the emblem page, I would recommend something like this, just going 6 brown, 4 white, and then focus on either HP or flat attack damage emblems. Very straightforward. You can also probably put in some crit. So the moves can't really crit. The last attack of Surging Strikes does crit, but it always crits. The other ones can't. But you still auto attack a lot, right? So if you have boosted auto attacks, crit, you can do a lot of damage. So you can also consider going crit emblems. Otherwise, I think this is always very solid. And for the better item, you for sure go full heal. As I mentioned, if you get stunned once in a team fight, you're kind of done for us. So full heal just allows us to, not instantly die in one stun in a team fight. We start the game as Cupfu, which gets Headbutt and Rock Smash. Headbutt just a dash in direction. Right here, it also stuns a tiny bit. And Rock Smash is like a mini power punch or mini big blow. You can charge it up. You can also do it instantly. And this is if you go to laning phase, this will be your main last hitting tool, right? This Rock Smash right here. It's like quite difficult to get it completely out and get a last hit with it, but if you go to lane, this will be your last hitting tool. If you're jungling, you actually don't even charge it up. So if you jungle and go for a clear, right, we pretty much just headbutt, auto attack for a Razor Claw, wait a bit, auto attack again, Rock Smash for another Razor Claw proc, and we don't fully charge it. So if you're jungling and you clear your jungle, don't fully charge it. Then at level 5, you can decide between Wicked Blow and Surging Strike. So again, we're going from the water build or the multi-strike build. And Surging Strikes has multiple things it does. First, it is 3 times you can dash in 2 directions. So 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And the last one is a kick that also always crits. So it always does double the damage of the other Surging Strikes and also stuns. So 1, 2, 3. Knocks up and stuns. Very nice. The second part, it also gives you always a boosted auto attack, which I'll also talk about in a second, because it also is very important for this Pokemon. So Surging Strikes 1, boosted auto attack, Surging Strikes again, and Surging Strikes again. Always make sure that you do that. So what the boosted auto attack does, it actually gives us cooldown reduction for our moves. So you can see right here, if you use our boosted auto attack during our Surging Strikes, it's almost back up again. The cooldown of Surging Strikes starts even with boosted auto attacks during Surging Strikes. It doesn't start when you end Surging Strikes. So if you do it like this, right, you can see 10-second cooldown. You boost auto attack, it does reset it. You can see it right there. You get 2-second cooldown of your auto attacks for it. But if you do a Surging Strikes into basic attack, into Surging Strikes, basic attack, Surging Strikes, basic attack, you can see it's almost, next one's almost back up. So it's very important to make sure that you chain your Surging Strikes after another with a boost auto attack, right? Because I see some URSHIFU just doing this. And they're like doing completely wrong things, right? It makes no sense to go for that. So always make sure you do Surging Strikes, boosted, Surging Strikes, boosted, Surging Strikes. Another thing the boost auto attack does is, which is also quite insane, it pierces shields. It doesn't do true damage, I'm sure, but it pierces shields and can damage through it. So against Rayquaza, pretty much no one can ever score. If you just do this over and over again on someone who tries and score with Rayquaza, they literally can't. It's very, very strong, also very good against Pokemon like Crustle, who have big shielding, just allows you to take them down. So yeah, Surging Strikes, auto attack, Surging Strikes. The last one always crits, and the other ones can't crit, but it deals a good amount of damage. And the boosted auto attack of Surging Strikes also heals. So you can see a bit low right now. We do this into an auto attack, and you can see we heal a good amount. And yeah, so also very nice. This is the way of getting, you know, sustain in this build. That's what kind of can keep it alive. So that's why the boosted auto attacks are so important as well after every single surging strike. So if you just do this, this, and this, you lose a lot of value. Of course, sometimes you do it if you want to chase someone down, right? If they're far away, you're going to use it like this. But most of the time, you obviously want to just weave in a basic attack after every single surging strikes. At level 7, we take Liquidation. I mean, we can't choose anything else. Liquidation is a pretty bad move, honestly. So you stand still. Like, it stops your movement this way. You use it, you stand still, you stomp the ground, and you do this wave around you, which will give you a shield for every opponent hit, like this. You can see it does very low damage. It gives you a shield, and it also reduces the enemy defense stats by 30%. So it does allow you to do more damage. So weaving it in between surging strikes and before maybe activating your night move is going to do a good amount of damage. But you kind of mainly use it to just live. So, you know, for multiple targets hit, if you suck in like 3 or 4 enemies, pressing it, you gain a big shield, and it's honestly the main usage of it. Most of the time you can do something like this, and you can weave in a Liquidation before your last surging strikes, and you can also try, of course, activate it early, go in, and then do a lot of damage. So also very important. But yeah, it honestly is probably the worst part about this Pokemon. It feels so weird to use because you have to stand still, but doesn't matter what, the shield is still quite nice, and also, of course, the damage or defense reduction is also quite nice. On level 9 we pick up the Unite move, and we have to talk about it, because it's quite weird of a Unite move for sure. We activate it and go into the stance, and every time we do damage to something, we stack up a hit counter, as you can see up there. I think every 2 times we do damage, we stack up a counter, and if we activate it, we punch our opponent. So if we don't do any hits on, like if we just activate it like this, we do 5 hits with the final hit, and we can stack it up to 10 hits. So every 2 stack counters gives you 1 more hit from 5 up to 10. So your 5 is the minimum, 10 is the maximum, and you get those 10 after, you know, 10 things, pretty much. Of course, it's 5 extra. Yeah, it's kind of weird. During this time as well, doing this punching right here, you take less damage. But honestly, it's probably the worst part about this Unite move. The main part about the Unite move, which is actually quite nice, it gives us cooldown reduction. So the basic is gives us cooldown reduction for 6 seconds, which allows us, as you can see if you activate it, you can do surging strikes pretty much on cooldown. So you can see it right here. Every time we do surging strikes with a boost auto attack afterwards, it's gonna be up. So the way to use this Unite move is, right, either you want to finish someone off fast, but when you start using it, you go in, you auto attack, build up your combo, and make sure you just always have surging strikes up, thanks to this, right? And then at the end of it, you will start activating it and try to finish someone off. So again, auto attack, auto attack, next one is up already, and then you do another one maybe, and then you start activating your Unite move, right, to maybe finish someone off. It's honestly quite fine to still finish someone off with that, but it's mainly used again just for the surging strike cooldown reduction. Is so nice, you can just have it permanently up, and that's how you should use the Unite move in team fights. 11 you get Surging Strikes Plus, which during Surging Strikes we take 30% less damage. Quite nice, we just take a bit less damage. I mean, why not, right? And then on level 13 we get Liquidation Pledge, which is very boring. It just gives us 1 less cooldown, or 1 second less cooldown Liquidation, so yeah, it's pretty bad. So again, as you can see, this Pokemon is actually quite straightforward, right? You just want to basic attack in between your surging strikes, sometimes even Liquidation if you can, to reduce enemies' damage, and just make sure you always get those boost auto attacks up. And also another nice thing is, since we have Razor Claw, all of our surging strikes can proc Razor Claw. So if we don't do it too fast, if we do like a surging strikes, basic attack again, surging strikes, basic attack, we can proc Razor Claw 3 times if we are, you know, patient enough. So very important to get your Razor Claw procs in, because that is a lot of damage and a lot of CC as well, since it slows. So just don't do it insanely fast, because then right now it's also still on cooldown, and we have to wait very long for it to come back up. Of course, we can do more boosted auto attacks in between as well to you know, get it up back faster, like here. Start doing basic attacks, and we have it back up again. But yeah, very important thing to not just overdo it. Let's head into some gameplay. I have already cleared my jungle, and I'm looking for a gank. You want to be very aggressive early game with this Pokemon. So you already go in, you can see me boost auto attack after every surging strikes. There's a lot of people right there, so I have to back out a tiny bit. Could maybe end a bit more. You still quite squishy as well, so obviously be a bit careful. Take a berry right here, go back into the fight, but you want to be very aggressive. Reactivate my surging strikes into boost auto attack. We kick this guy, we go in again, auto attack. Is so important, just auto attack after everything as well. You can see we're getting just easy KOs. This Pokemon is one of the best level 5 Pokemon in the game as well right now. It's similar to Dark URSHIFU, but I feel like this one is even better at level 5 than Dark URSHIFU, right? There's so much damage. And now, I feel like this is the only jungler where I always get a stack on the first gank, pretty much. Attack rate stacks are super easy on this Pokemon. And at this point in the game, you can either, if you just, since again, I'm so strong, I can invade the enemy jungle. I could also go back to my jungle if I wanted to. But since I am full HP, I just got some stacks in. I want to be aggressive and go towards the enemy jungler, or enemy jungle, to see if it's maybe up. I didn't quite, you know, it took a while to respawn, so I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'm going to my side now. Just taking the blue buff. But, you know, if something respawns faster there, I would have just done their camps. And if the enemy jungler appears, it's very easy to KO him. I'm just going to take only blue buff here, because mid Atarias are spawning. So now we're hitting to mid. I know my red buff is up, but I want this first, and we can try to fight the Scyther. We go in with the boost auto attack, lose liquidation on Altarias and the Scyther to get a bigger shield. You can see he has no chance, right, in this early game. He absolutely has no chance. We just do surging strikes into boost auto attack into surging strikes. And I'll be looking for this guy as well, using a liquidation just for a bit of... I mean, again, it feels kind of weird to do, but you pretty much nothing can escape this Pokemon in early game. My red buff is still up, but I have such a huge lead right now that I don't really need it, so I'll rather maybe go for a stack, but then I realize, oh, my team is already maybe breaking the goal right here. And again, breaking a goal this early is just not good, especially not with 7 points, right? So I'm just going to farm some more right here, help my team get these Altarias. My plan is already, I go to red buff, I go to blue buff, and then I go to bot side to maybe get the objective. So I was thinking about my rotations. I prefer bot Reggie still right now. I think it's just better. So we go back to our jungle, and you can see our clear is also very fast. Surging strikes, auto attack, surging strikes, auto attack, surging strikes, auto attack. Try not to get stunned by the buff. I think that's obvious. I'm also a bit lazy sometimes when it comes to, you know, dodging buff stuns. And again, now we can head towards bot path. We have our Unite move up, and we're going to look for a team fight. If we can. Looking for surging strikes already, into boost auto attack, surging strikes, boost auto attack, surging strikes. And this guy is down. It does so much damage early game. It's honestly ridiculous. Looking for me the Sableye. This would be a good break to have. These 34 points I would like to go in. So I'm going to cap right here. We get the goal, and then we can go for the Reggie afterwards. If my team doesn't even needs me, right? But yeah, just going to make sure we get it. I know that my Dragonite has it now, so I want to just fully stack. I'm going to get one more right here. And nothing can fight me right now, so I can actually be very, very aggressive. Literally nothing has a chance against me at this point in the game. I see the Sableye there, and I just punch him. Surging strikes after him. He has no chance. Now we can look for the enemy jungle. And again, I want to be very aggressive. This Pokemon is kind of similar to Basilisk, where I really want to snowball early game as much as I can. Like, you really want to abuse how OP your Pokemon is during the early stages of the match. And it's very, very important to be aggressive. Of course, you don't want to die and give away a comeback experience, so you still have to be careful with that. Here in this scenario right now, right, we just use a quick triple strike or surging strike without auto attacks in between, just to catch up. So you can also do that. Just be aware that if you fight someone and you do it to, like, they're still full HP after you chased, right, that they might just turn around on you because you have no cooldowns anymore. Then you start auto-attacking, getting our basic attacks back up. With the boosted auto-attacks, we're able to get more surging strikes. Here's the full heal in action against a Sableye. We don't get potted back by his Unite move, and I'm just in the enemy Flux Zone right now. I'm just trying to be aggressive right here, looking for the Zoroark, who does KO someone in my team. Surging strikes in, boosted auto-attacks, surging strikes, and he just dies. Looking for this Regieleki now. And Muscle Band just helps us clear this as well. And you can really just dance around. Like, it's so difficult to play against this build right now in early game if you don't have a lot of lockdown, right? It just has so much mobility, so much damage. The last kick as well also stuns, so it's even more annoying. This was honestly a pretty bad Regieleki because the goal is very low. So, but I ping my team to push here, and the Dragonite actually realizes we can. Because they're just dead. They have no respawn timers or no jump pads yet. We can actually score so many points right here. So very happy that my Dragonite, responded to it. You can also use Surging Strikes to escape over voids, in case you don't know. It does go over voids, unless they're too big enough. The first Surging Strikes are a bit shorter, and the last Surging Strikes has a lot of range. So you can go almost over any wall with the last Surging Strikes. Except for, maybe the middle ones to Rayquaza. Can go across a lot of voids. Here we just use a quick triple Surging Strikes to get faster to my opponents. But now I have to be a bit careful. So I'm just gonna use my Unite move here and start auto-attacking, going for Surging Strikes if I can. There we go, Surging Strikes. Looking for the next one. It's up already, but I'm just gonna finish off with my Unite move. Honestly, I probably didn't have to Unite move. I was kind of... I don't want to die at this point. Or I was probably a bit too excited. We didn't really have to do it, right? But again, the most important thing is be aggressive on this Pokemon. I know it's you don't want to die and you're scared and you give over comeback experience, but you have to be aggressive. Just make sure you play around it smartly, bound your opponents having cooldowns, and just think about, is this a good play or not? But you have to be aggressive. If you don't play aggressive with this Pokemon, you're wasting a lot of potential. So here we're getting kind of stunned. I'm just trying to get Surging Strikes and boost auto attacks as much as I can. And you can see I never just spam it, right? Again, we full here. The Sableye Unite move, he's going to go down. Really level 14. So we can heal up on this Regice with our boosted auto attacks from our Surging Strikes. It does heal quite a good amount, so you can see we're back to full HP. And we have top spawning, or entire jungle is up, so I can decide what I want to do. This game I will hit level 15 easily, right? So I really want 15 for late game if I can. The higher level you are, of course, the higher chance of you winning the game is. Because you have more stats, you do more damage, have more HP, and all that fun stuff. And again, our damage is still quite good right now, as you can see. Now we head towards top path, towards the next team fight. And again, team fighting can be quite difficult. And this team fight, something happens. That can happen a lot in games. I think this was the game where this happened. The Unite move is sometimes quite weird on the reactivation, so you have to be careful. But yeah, here I'm just going to activate my Unite move to just go in, auto-attack, but actually this was really a bad team fight, honestly. And here, this was so weird. So we Unite moved the Scyther, but because he was in his double jump hit animation, and he also get kited, like my boost auto-attacks actually don't commit, so my Surging Strikes don't cooldown. The moment right here, I punch him here, but he double hits away from it, and somehow gets out of my Unite move. He's still stunned, but now my Unite move punches the wall. I'm stuck in a sky, I get Unite move by the Scyther and I actually end up dying. Maybe I could have used a Liquidation right there to live. So Liquidation could have maybe helped me out, right, if I use it right here as a shield. So I should still recommend using it. But I felt like if I do Surging Strikes and a boost auto attack, I actually thought it would be higher chance of living. So yeah, the Unite move is quite weird and gotta get used to it. So I feel like I can stuck on walls. I can also get obviously full healed. If the enemies have unstoppable effects, I can also get out of it. So I must be a bit careful. And the Unite move is, again, it's quite lackluster of a Unite move. It feels like a Machamp Unite that is just much worse because it's only single target. You mainly use it for the cooldown reduction. So you can do almost unlimited Surging Strikes, inside of it. That's what it's mainly used for. Respawn right here, I'm just going to get Blue Buff. Blue Buff also obviously amazing on this Pokemon, which allows us to hopefully get our Surging Strikes up faster as well, right? That's why I also like playing in Jungle. Having this cooldown reduction just gives our Surging Strikes lower cooldown, which is very, very nice and very important. Also still need to farm a Unite move back up, so we take Red Buff. And we can maybe take a Baltoy as well still somewhere for Unite move, but yeah, it's pretty much almost back up. Don't have to worry too much, and I still want to be at Rayquaza in time. And here's Auroch engages on us. We're just going to wait a bit, be patient. And the last team fight is very difficult, so this is something you have to really watch out for. So we go auto-attack, and this guy just dies. We still do a lot of damage, even late game. You just have to be careful because you die very fast as well. That's the only issue. So looking for the Scyther now, he might be my main Unite move target. But yeah, I'm just kind of testing water a bit. Surging Strikes does have a locked time before you can reactivate it again. So you don't have to always reactivate it too fast, as you can see. And I'm just going to Unite move. I'm just going to kill this Slowbro right here. I was scared he's going to Unite move me, so I just Unite moved him first, pretty much. That's what my logic was right here. And this game, I couldn't really make good use out of the cooldown reduction I get from my Unite move. But you can still see, even with that, this Pokemon is very, very strong right now. Is it better than Dark URSHIFU? No. Is it more fun? Yeah, it's very fun. It's one of the most fun builds in the game for sure. And it's still strong at the same time. So I think that's just a win-win. Very solid game overall. We were very aggressive early game. We got insanely high level, which also carries us to late game. Here again, 1v1 against the Scythe, of course. I have a Rayquaza shield right now, so he doesn't really stand a chance. We just auto-attack, wait for Surging Strikes, auto-attack. And I even missed, actually. I missed my Surging Strikes right there. It's still a skill shot. Still have to hit it, and I did miss it, so wait for some more stuff right here. Dropping a Liquidation in between my Surging Strikes. Going in again, looking for more boosted auto attacks, Surging Strikes, boost auto attacks, Surging Strikes. The last kick did so much damage as well, and the fact that it stuns is so strong too. Let me just KO them under the enemy base. Like, I have countless games of where on level 5 already, I dive the enemy Flux Zone and they have no chance. Literally. They have no chance in those fights, and it's absolutely ridiculous of a Pokemon. We had 17 KOs in this game. I feel like this clip is a great example of how oppressive you can be in early game. Of course, I'm very over-leveled, right? You might have seen this one already, and what I meant about, diving the enemy Flux Zones. You just don't really care much about it. You just go in, you just punch your opponents, and it's very difficult. If this Pokemon gets rolling, you can do whatever you want. This is what it feels like. So I'm just gonna check out this clip right here. We just go in, we keep using our things. My Unite move almost one-shots the enemy. I actually almost literally one-shots them. KOs them fully. We keep going in, and they can't do much about it. We have a lot of healing from our Surging Strikes. We have very little cooldown on it. In the latest, if they don't know, in the latest patch, they actually made Surging Strikes lower cooldown, and the boosted auto attack also gives you more cooldown reduction for your Surging Strikes. So that was just insane of a buff, and this is why it just allows us to have all these Surging Strikes right now, which gives us more healing, more damage, and a lot of other things. So yeah, quite impressive. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe.